After a year filled with chaos and fighting with 4 different coalitions in the Plains camp, Gijima's, Red Road, and Mantamal males, the Kambulas are still holding on in Sabi Sand. In late 2024, it looked like their chances of taking over the northern part of the area were at an all-time high. But the ruling coalition to the east, the Mantamal brothers, stepped in and managed to isolate and beat up one of the less experienced Kambula males. Even though the injured male made a strong recovery and rejoined his coalition, it's clear that the group's confidence has been shaken. Lately, the Kambulas have been back on their roaming routine, traveling all over the reserve. Now that they're entering their prime years, their chances of taking over are growing every day. It'll be interesting to see how the nearby coalitions react, as they've managed to keep the Kambulas at bay so far, but they're well aware that the younger coalition outnumbers them by a significant margin and will soon be a much stronger force. The dominant males of the West, the Plains Camp males, have stopped visiting the North because they're now busy with new responsibilities. Recently, a coalition of 4 young Manwana males has moved into the heart of Plains Camp territory. Originally a coalition of 6 or possibly 7 males, these 4 have traveled all the way from Thorny Bush Game Reserve down to Sabi Sand. While these newcomers don't pose a direct threat to the dominant males right now, if they stay for a while, grow bigger, and gain enough confidence, they could become a serious problem. In recent weeks, they've been seen following the Mangeni Pride, which has cubs sired by the Plains Camp males. So far, the newcomers have left the cubs alone, and the lionesses are being very cautious. If they don't leave, a confrontation with the dominant males is unavoidable. Let's hope everything works out for them. The Nkuhuma breakaway youngsters, the offspring of the Plains Camp males, recently encountered their fathers. Unfortunately for the young male, his presence at a kill wasn't accepted by his fathers, and they ended up teaching him a lesson.
What are you doing?
The Salala lioness, who lost her cubs a few months ago, has been mating with the Plains Camp duo. She lives in an area that's the center of all the major lion activity, which makes her life even more difficult. Despite all the challenges, she's staying strong, and hopefully things will improve for her in the future. The Ottawa lionesses have kept a low profile for the past couple of years. They've had some scary encounters with other prides and hyenas, but always managed to escape. Recent reports suggest that one of them has given birth to a litter of cubs, while the other was seen mating with the Plains Camp males. If the news about the cubs is true, it's a positive sign, especially since the Ottawas have been living like nomads in an area that used to be their home. Hopefully, these lionesses will make a comeback and keep the Ottawa name alive. The central Sabi Sand region is still under the control of the Ndhzenga males. Despite being the oldest dominant males in Sabi Sand and being surrounded by larger coalitions from the southeast and north, they don't seem to be in any danger. Both brothers are still going strong, and under their protection, the Kambula and Nsevu prides are thriving. It's also worth noting that the Ndzengas have been the dominant males since late 2019 or early 2020, and took over their current territory in November 2021. Southern Sabi Sand remains firmly under the control of the powerful Gijima coalition. Their presence has brought much-needed protection and stability to the Southern, Styx, and Msuthu prides, all of which are thriving and have cubs. Despite constant pressure from the east by the Nkhulu males, the Gijimas have not only held their ground but also delivered a few solid beatings, causing the Nkhulu youngsters to keep their distance in recent weeks. If things continue this way, the Gijimas will likely be remembered as one of the most successful coalitions in recent history, with their reign being one of the most impactful. Since the clash with the Gijima brothers, which left one of the Nkhulus injured, they seem to have stopped entering neighboring territories. For now, the Nkhulu brothers appear satisfied with what they have, but that doesn't mean they'll leave it like this. They will inevitably try to push into other territories and take more prides, knowing that they outnumber every other coalition in the reserve. How things will unfold for them, we'll have to wait and see. The duo of Southern Avoca and Kruger male continue to roam around the reserve. Recently, the pair entered the territory of the Plains Camp males in the western sector. Southern Avoca was feeding on a giraffe carcass when the dominant males arrived and chased after him. Fortunately, he was able to sense their arrival in time and managed to escape. Let's hope he stays clear of any threats and keeps his majestic presence around. The Nkuhuma male is still with the Talamati male. Even though both of them are in peak physical condition, it doesn't seem like they'll be able to take over a territory in Sabi Sand anytime soon, as all the dominant coalitions are at their peak and none are showing any signs of weakness. To claim a significant territory, the pair will either need to fight hard or venture beyond the borders of Sabi Sand. This tough reality shows just how difficult it is, even for the fittest of lions.
This way. You really sat nice now.